Welcome to this week's Senior Management video. I'm Bob Beamet, Senior Vice President, Site Operations. And let me start with plant status. Unit 2 and Unit 3 are at full power. The protected train is currently Bravo for all 3 units. And the water reclamation facility, our 4th unit, is in a scheduled plant outage, so production rate out of water rec is 0 gallons per minute. Both reservoirs are 93% full, which gives us approximately 21 days of storage at our current use with Unit 1 and refueling outage. I'll talk a little later about the importance of the water rec outage and how it affects us because they are doing a lot of significant work over there. Next, I'd like to talk about nuclear safety. Looking at nuclear safety on page 6 of our standards and expectations, it talks about at Palo Verde we manage our online risk. And the risk management action levels for next week for the operating units, Unit 2 and 3, will be green risk all week. We also manage our shutdown risk, and we've made significant improvements over the last couple of years. People getting involved and really driving improvements in our monitoring and our ability to take actions to minimize the time that we're in yellow risk and eliminating orange or red risk. So on Unit 1, we are currently in yellow risk for 2 reasons. One, reactor coolant system time to boil being less than 30 minutes. And the reason that's important, and the reason we track that, is if we lost shutdown cooling, we would start that 30-minute clock. And during that 30 minutes, that gives us time to, one, get water into the core to prevent it from boiling, and 2, to isolate the containment building where if we do start boiling and we boil water in the core, it causes that steam to go into the containment, but we don't release it to the atmosphere. So it gives us time to respond, but we're well prepared if we had to respond. In fact, over the last couple of years, what we've added is our ability to do drills to make sure we can properly respond. The other thing that has us at yellow risk is our inability to credit charging pumps for inventory control. So basically what we're looking at is that our available total chemical and volume control flow is less than the required RCS makeup due to the degraded flow from charging pump alpha. So that has us in yellow risk. So under the nuclear safety heading on page 5 of our standards and expectations, it states that it's everyone's responsibility to have an awareness of nuclear safety. So once you know where we are from a risk standpoint, then think about how that applies to the work that you're doing or the work that you're supporting for the day. Everyone going into the protected area should take a moment to review the large TV monitors that we've added in the security turnstile area. This monitor displays the current risk management action level for Unit 1 as well as the protected equipment. The monitor is the outage control center, or our way of communicating risk to the site, and it only takes about 20 seconds to view all of the information. Next, I want to talk about industrial safety. On industrial safety, we went 140 days without an OSHA recordable, the best we've ever done here at Palo Verde. And then then we had 2 OSHA recordables within a very short time period of each other. And so I want to get us back on track, and I want us to get back to focusing on one job at a time, one shift at a time. It's us focusing on doing each task right and making sure the people around us are doing each task right. As Tom Mock said in last week's safety video, and I'm also convinced that we can finish 1R16 safely if we focus on one job at a time, one shift at a time. And staying with safety, let's turn to page 37 in the Standards and Expectations book. Situational awareness is an important aspect of industrial safety, and one that we have struggled with. Several injuries have occurred at Palo Verde when people are simply traveling to and from the job site because they fail to have a questioning attitude about their surroundings. That's what prompted Ken Coon in radiation protection to come up with a campaign for Eyes on Path, and here's Ken to tell you about it.
Can you guess where I'm standing right now? Let me give you a few clues. We have had 3 injuries at this location, one of which required one of our co-workers to be transported by ambulance to a hospital. The behavior behind these injuries has also resulted in 4 recordables. So am I in a turbine building? Am I in a storage yard? One more clue. Most people, if asked, would say that this is a hazard-free area. There's no hazard here. So where am I? How many of you guessed that I would be on a sidewalk or at some steps? Surprise, this is the hazardous area that resulted in 3 injuries. It's all about behaviors. It's all about distractions, situational awareness, and keeping your eyes on the path. That's what I'm here to talk about. Behaviors that we see off-site are not necessarily acceptable here at Palo Verde. It's not uncommon for us to see individuals off-site walking at the same time that they're texting or dialing a phone. That takes their eyes off the path. That may be acceptable off-site, but it's not acceptable here on-site. As we discussed, this was a hazard-free or seemingly hazard-free area, and yet we've had injuries due to not keeping your eyes on path on sidewalks, steps, and other areas of the plant. I've been asked what good looks like. The solution is simple. When you know you need to text, read a document, anything that keeps your eyes off the path, stop, perform the task, and continue. A frontline group developed the Eyes on Path card and process. The intent of that program is if you see somebody not keeping their eyes on path, you have a discussion with them and you hand them the card. The intent of the card, once you receive one, is for you to look for that same behavior and pass on the card to the next individual so that the cards continue to move forward. If someone does care enough for you to coach you on Eyes on Path, thank them. Because we care enough to act, we're committed to keep our eyes on path, and we're challenging each of you to do the same.
Thanks, Ken. I absolutely appreciate your initiative, and I've gotten a couple of the Eyes on Path cards because I have a bad habit of thinking that my phone is the most important thing, and when that thing vibrates, that I've got to look at it. And so people have provided me good challenge, and I absolutely appreciate that challenge of Eyes on Path. So if I'm going to use that cell phone, if I'm going to look at it, see what the message is, stop and see what the message is, and then proceed forward. So great challenge from a couple people to me personally that I absolutely appreciate. Next, I'll talk about radiological safety, and we'll talk about our radiological performance in 1R16 in a moment. But today, under the radiological safety topic, I want to recognize an example of our leadership model philosophy about Palo Verde being a continuous learning organization, which we've put that poster up here. And that leadership model talks about knowledge is fundamental, share it. So radiation protection technician Paul Huff has achieved certification with the National Registry of Radiation Protection Technology, NRRPT is the acronym. Paul joins 12 others at Palo Verde who have achieved this certified distinction. The objective of that body is to promote the education and training of radiation protection technologists and to advance the science of health physics. Similarly, we recently recognized the nearly 50 licensed engineers at Palo Verde for their commitment to excellence at the first annual recognition dinner for engineers. And just a great recognition dinner. Talked to some of the leaders, some of the engineers there, had a good time, and the leaders getting to be with the engineers that have gone above and beyond and got their license as a professional engineer, and the engineers being recognized with their family for the hard work that they have done. We are committed as a site to leading the industry in knowledge and training, and these are a couple examples of the kind of achievements that help move us in that direction. All right, next I want to talk about 1R16. Where are we so far to date? We've had 0 OSHA recordable injuries in 1R16. We talked about having OSHA recordable, but it was not supporting the outage, so it won't be counted in the 1R16 OSHA recordables. Our collective radiation exposure is slightly better than our goal to date. Reactor coolant system cleanup targets are expected to be reached early on Thursday, and the lower the number is, the better that cleanup is, the lower the dose rates are for the remainder of 1R16. I appreciate the good work of operations. They provided an alternate lineup to add another pump to support continued effective reactor coolant system cleanup, which helped us get to where we wanted to get. So a good job by coming up with an alternate path. The pressurizer manway has been removed and the reactor coolant system level has been lowered to the flange level to support head removal. So with the new simplified head assembly, it's our first outage on Unit 1 with that. It's allowed us to get to the point where we are now ready to remove the head in a timely manner. Plant conditions are changing rapidly. The equipment hatch is closed, personal airlock doors are open, but manned and contingencies are in place, as we talked about earlier in nuclear cooling, where if we need to close those quickly, we have people assigned to do that. Numerous inspections are now underway. We're in the discovery phase of the outage. We want to get the discovery phase done early in the outage. And if we find things, what we need from the people in the organization is to communicate any findings promptly to the outage control center so we can manage these issues that arise effectively. We know we're going to have issues arise. The important part is having the people ready to respond to them, whether that's the incident response team or the people in the outage control center, where we respond appropriately, determine what actions we're going to take, and go implement those actions. Moving on, we're behind on our outage observations, so we need to pick up the pace there. And there's plenty of jobs underway now that need additional eyes and ears in the field. And people want to have the feedback. So they want you to be out there observing them, giving them feedback about what they're doing well, what they can do better. Our people are trying to do the right thing. Give them credit for the great things they're doing. Provide them feedback where you see that they can make improvements, and they will be appreciative of that fact. We are currently tracking well towards our schedule of 29 days. Part of the outage has slowed, but critical path, which is now through the HIPSI pumps, is going well. In fact, that HIPSI pump work appears that it's going to pull in, and electricians are right behind that on critical path. But they're well aware of that, and just a great job by electricians of being prepared for their bus outages, and they're moving through their work smartly. So a lot of good things going on in the outage. We'll continue to focus, continue to take our lessons learned. This outage is going to be good. The next one is going to be better based on our ability to be a learning organization and continue to improve our performance. Next, I want to talk about the water reclamation facility outage. I talked about it a little bit earlier, but when we're talking about outages at Palo Verde, we need to be clear because we currently have two outages underway, 1R16 and the water reclamation facility. In the water reclamation facility, our fourth unit is in a 2-week outage that began Sunday that includes a significant amount of work along the 36-mile pipeline. Excavation, external tendon repair, and backfill of 21 large diameter pipe spools will be performed. 16 spools are being refurbished to address degradation, and there's 5 that are being reinforced. This work is being performed by Nuclear Projects, the water rec personnel, and nearly 100 contract personnel that are supporting us. Other work includes clarifier, feed and trickling, filter repairs, electrical work, chemical feed tank maintenance, and valve maintenance. The facility is projected to be back online Saturday, October 22nd. So we'll keep an eye on that water rec facility outage to make sure it's going well. We can get that lineup back. We can get the water rec facility back online October 22nd and start bringing the reservoirs back up. All right, so next I just want to talk about something that's fun, the Bob Be Safe contest drawing. Since fire is such a significant threat to our nuclear safety, it's important that we consider safety culture principle number 1, which we have the board up here. Everyone is personally responsible for nuclear safety. We all have a role in fire protection safety. As you have heard, we are holding a contest connected to the fire protection video, which nearly 2,000 employees across the site have watched together with their work groups. We have just sent copies to the employees' homes this week so employees can watch with their families, since it includes a section on home fire safety. Another reason to watch the video with your family is to enlist their help in counting the number of times Bob Be Safe appears in the video, which will make you eligible to win great prizes in our Bob Be Safe contest. Prizes include fire extinguishers and a weekend stay at a hot local resort. Today we are doing the first drawing in the contest, and I will pick 5 winners of home fire extinguishers from those that have entered the contest. So all the names are in here that have entered so far, and I guess I'll pick these without looking at the names. So the first one is Danny Myatt. All right, so there's 1. So I am picking 5. Is that right, Michael?
That's it.
All right, the second one is Tammy Eric. Okay. All right, so the third one is David Randolph. All right, so we got 3 down, 2 to go. The fourth one is David Kanan, excuse me. And the fifth one, the fifth one that jumped out of there is Abelardo Rodriguez. So those are the 5 first winners. So I appreciate people putting in, and I want you to look for the Bob Be Safe icon on the home page of Palo Verde Online and enter what you learned from the video, as well as how many times Bob Be Safe appears in the fire protection video and the promo video. And as I say, you can't win if you don't enter. So have fun with it. We're talking about safety. We're talking about nuclear safety. We're also talking about safety at home, and it's important that we, as the leaders at Palo Verde and the leaders of our home, are continuing to improve the safety of both the plant and home. In closing, we'll receive our final assessment from IMPO tomorrow from the 1.0 peer review. I talked to you before the peer review started and asked you to be engaged and to show the 1.0 team who we are. And you just did a great job. A great job in the preparation before the evaluation. But what I want to talk about is just thank you for the effort that took place when the team was here. They walked away recognizing that we're an aligned organization, that we're an engaged organization that's engaged in continuing to improve the performance of Palo Verde. And I'm very proud of the site and the people of the site and how you represented yourselves and the site during the evaluation. So tomorrow morning we'll be downtown. I'll get Randy in his suit and tie, and the rest of us will be in a suit and tie, and they will present the evaluation. They'll give us the executive summary of the issues that they think are the main issues that we need to focus on, and they'll also give us the score. And I'll do a video from downtown tomorrow. Michael and Terry Young will be down there helping make sure that we do the video well, and we'll give you that results. But today I want to tell you thank you for the great job you did while they were here, and it was just an enjoyable time for me to watch the site go through that evaluation. And then also I want you to remember to make 1R16 event-free and injury-free, one job at a time, one shift at a time, and this will help us and does help us safely and efficiently generate electricity for the long term. Thank you.